Here are my official post-spring college football playoff predictions. I'm glad I waited until now because they just changed the way the seeding works. So let's look at this new bracket. Penn State is my number one team in the country. I think they have the schedule dynamics to potentially run the table and win a Big Ten title, which would be good enough for the number one seed. At the 4 seed, I've got Notre Dame. The Irish have the ability to get a bye this year. I think they'll do so in the first year where they're able to. At 3, I've got Clemson. I think the Tigers will win the ACC, and I think that they will probably get nicked with a conference loss or maybe lose that big game against LSU or that big game at the end of the year versus South Carolina. So they'll probably get nicked with one, but I still think they'll get a bye. And then Alabama, I think, wins the SEC and gets a bye as a result. Let's continue on with the teams in the first round. I think Texas and LSU are the other two teams to make it out of the SEC. I just trust the Longhorns this year. I think they'll reload and be in a great position. And LSU, I also think that they can survive even if they lose their opening game to Clemson and turn in a nice season and get in the college football playoffs for the first time since they won it all in 2019. As for the Big Ten, I think they get the most bids of any conference again, with USC, Oregon, and Ohio State making it. I simply think the Ducks and the Buckeyes will be too talented to completely fall off a cliff this year. They'll still make it despite some of the questions they face. And at USC, I think the defensive turnaround is going to really have a great year under D'Anton Lynn, and I think they're going to ride that into a college football playoff appearance. At 11, I've got the second ACC team. I think the ACC gets 2 in once again. I think it's going to be Georgia Tech, who's going to turn in a really nice, pleasantly surprising year, possibly with an upset win over Georgia baked in there at the end of the season. And then at number 12, I've got my group of 5 representative in Tulane. There's a lot of solid group of 5 contenders. It's really hard to pick one out of the mix, but I think Tulane is going to be one of the best group of 5 teams this year, and they've got the opportunity to land a couple signature wins in their non-conference that I think some of them they can win. Let me know down in the comments, though, what do you think of my post-spring college football playoff predictions?